Okay, well, welcome back. We're doing operating round two. I did pay all the privates to the company, but I just realized I forgot to pay company K. And as you know, we don't have any regionals anymore, so we could just hop right in and do GWR. But let's pay company K first. We're now up to the brown towns. So company K's brown payout is $50. So Bell just gets $50. And GWR is England. So I'm going to just grab some brown tokens and sort of arrange them up near England because I know that's what we need to do. And let's get this situated. Nope, that's not good. Here, that's decent. So let's try that. In fact, I'm going to move this around some more because I like to be able to see into the camera while I'm talking. All right, so a couple of dilemmas. The first one is we don't have a Y upgrade there, but we're going to looking at his trains. He already has three 3+3s that he was able to buy from his other companies, and so he's already off to a wonderful start. So that's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Forgot something. When the train phase 6 happened, the 3 trains melted, and we are now down to only 3 trains per government and only 2 trains per private. So this guy's maxed out. That one's maxed out. Or actually, no. They'll be able to take, these are governments, sorry. So I realize that because he doesn't have an 11+11, he only has a 9+9. And we come over here, and he actually has 3 trains. I remember, yes. He would have to lose a train. But remember, BHB is the one that bought the 6. No. Oh, we're going to lose a 4 train. Because we bought this 5 train, and yeah, we're going to lose a 4 train. GWR would have been better off buying one of those. I think we were holding on to it because we wanted to give it to BHB, but the trains melted before that happened. So that hurts. That hurts a lot. So coming around here, Bell only has 1. RCP only has 1. These governments are only allowed to have 3, and actually Plum only has 2. This melts. They have their governments come with their own Pullman. And here we can see we only have 1 train. There we have 2. And there we have 3. So I think we're good there. But there were some surprising twists. The biggest one being a Pullman is gone, a 4 is out of the game, and that is not considered rusted yet. But it's also not available for purchase. So the crazy thing is a government company cannot take this. In fact, I think the rules say it goes on the market like that. So a company can buy it from the market for money. So that's the situation there with the 4 train. Crazy situation. But you are required to stay within your train limits. No exceptions. Okay, back to GWR. We have a 9+9. So put this down. And if you just do some real quick, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We already have our 9 cities built, but 3 of them are green. So we're going to spend 6 to get 3 of those upgraded. And then we have a whole lot of whistle stops we should upgrade. So let me get these set off to the side. And then we're gonna upgrade 1, 7, 8. So really just one more whistle stop is all we can afford to do. And then we get to lay 1 track. And unfortunately, so I'm gonna put that back. I'll lay this track. And then we can actually lay a track there if I had something within reach. So let me get these put away and not sure if that's ever gonna be used, but always spend your track points if you can. Okay, so money-wise, it is a 9 plus 9, and of course a Pullman. So we have the Scottish Highlands for 50, 60 for Scotland, the Y City, 40 for the other Y City, which stinks, and 80 for Birmingham, and 90 for London. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we need to do 4. Uh-oh, did I miscount? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I miscounted. Okay, so we now have 1, 2, 3 $40 cities, and we're gonna have to do one more at 30 because it's a 9 plus 9. All right, so that's 470. And then we got 2, 4, 5 $20 whistle stops. So that's 5 of them. And then we're gonna have to add 4 more at $10, and that's not an issue. We got plenty of those. Technically speaking, we upgraded as much as we could. It probably would have been more lucrative to upgrade this instead of the whistle stop, but I'm not gonna go back and change it. And we got $61 a share. So I think you saw that the government company was actually doing fantastic in the middle, but now you're noticing that it's actually not doing as well as the private companies now. Now, it's still doing better than private companies that are stuck with just a 3 train or just a 4 train, but if you have a private company that is fully decked out with trains, it will outperform a government. There's a couple of things that are hurting here. The fact that we couldn't upgrade that Y City really hurt. And Mr. Wellington, if he was hoping to win this game, he is now losing that hope. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At 7 shares, he gets $427. And let's give him his money. And then 3 shares for Mr. Medici is 183. So I'm going to give him 200, 85, 95, and then get some change back. Okay, so GWR is finished. Figuratively, or literally and figuratively, maybe. Actually, GWR is still the best company in the game. Mr. Medici knows that. So DSJ is next. Now, DSJ is in an interesting spot. DSJ has tokens everywhere he wants them. He's in London. He's not in France. He doesn't see our underpants, but he's got Norway, and he's in St. Petersburg. Now, the one thing that stinks is, you can see here, he's stuck with just a 4 train. And yes, you see this correctly. This is a $500 bill and a $1,000 bill, and he still has hundreds on top of that. He's doing amazing. So, he's definitely buying a train this round. And he has a 4+4 train, but take note that we have a 1+1, so he's still going to get some good revenue. No matter what, you want to include Constantinople, even if you can get London and New York and other things like that. Now the question is can I get London and New York and still get Constantinople? And that is an interesting question. And my answer would be no. So you have to go from New York into London and then do a train move. So I'd have to go like to Lille or something like that. I can't just go New York into London and then into Amsterdam. Just can't do that. You can't go in a port and then right back out. Now I can go New York into London and then up to Scotland and then over to Switzerland or Sweden, Narvik. I can do that. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for 5, I would have to go to Copenhagen and stop. So if I had a bigger train than just a 5+5, I could keep going all the way to St. Petersburg, right? So I can go from New York to London, up into Norway, and then to Copenhagen, and then up over to St. Petersburg, and then down. I would need, so let's just count, I would need a 1, and I can go all the way to St. Petersburg for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would need an 8+8 to pull that off. Now, there's this token that de Gaulle never used yet, that this one would let him skip a city. So we could like skip Copenhagen, for example, but we still get to count it, or we would get to skip the Scotland one. That would actually help him to do it in a 7+7. But yes, we are limited in terms of what we can do. So we have a 5+5 basically. So let's go backwards from the place that we know we want to get money. So we have Israel. So that's 1, 2, and then we can get 3 with St. Petersburg. And we know we need to get 2 more stops. The Sweden one is an excellent one. Copenhagen is mediocre. So Sweden is 4, and then we just add Moscow along the way for 5. So I think that's our route. And we do get upgrade points, track upgrade points. And this is where DSJ has a luxury of not really needing to spend any. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to work on England, but not in the way that's going to help other people, but it's going to help him. He wants to be able to go from New York into London and then get Birmingham and then keep going to maybe like Scotland. And if you look here, you can see if you land in London, you have to go through this crappy city to get to Birmingham. So we want to upgrade this. And we are on brown tiles. And we have to preserve the current track. But I think you will find that you're going to be very pleased to see that this can become the Atari 2600. What do you think about that? So now London and Birmingham can truly be connected together in one single train run. And that is something that should have been done a long time ago. So that was 2 points. What are we going to do with the rest of our stuff? The rest of our stuff is simple. We are going to help Austria, or our SB company, our government company, right? So let's use our other 4 points to help SB. So coming over, and I use this so much that I'm actually starting to fall over. Okay, so we're going to do these 2 whistle stops here for 4 points. And that's actually a really big help for SB, who is going to be spending most of his track upgrades on just connecting his cities. So we can at least get some good $20 whistle stops. And in fact, he's gonna get quite a few $20 whistle stops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're up to 6. That's really good. Okay, so that's his 6 points. Let's do his run. All right, yeah, glare's not bad here at all. Okay, so Levant, 80. Then Constantinople. And then Moscow for 80. St. Petersburg for 80. And then the Sweden there for 80. All right, so it's a perfect run. Nothing less than $80. That's an amazing run, in fact. So that's 460, and then we're gonna do whistle stops, and there's for sure 4 whistle stops. So I should have just put 80, but so that's a $540 run, and then we have a Pullman for 40 more. For having one train, $58 a share is still very impressive. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 8 shares. So 58 times 8. We're getting 464. And remember, Mr. Medici is always riding our coattails. And he's going to get 116. So let's put this down and pay everybody. So I'm putting 116 on the Bay of Biscay, and that's going to be for Mr. Medici. And then we get 464. So I'm going to grab a 500 and give it to us. And 465, 70, 80, 90. I'm just making change. Okay. So our cash looks small, but we actually have $1,500 sitting here. And that's really impressive. If you look at Mr. De Gaulle, he's lucky he has $1,000. That's how much better we're doing than the last place player at this point. And that makes sense. Okay, so DSJ is going up, and we are gonna buy a 6 train. Without a doubt, we're buying a 6 train. Now, the cost is $600, but here you can see we get a 10% discount. So that would be $60 off. So we only need to pay $540. So this is the $40 there. And I'm setting this aside to show that this is $1,000, that's $1,000. That is for 2 of the best trains in the game. So we have our 40. We have to go 100, 200, and then 3, 4, 5. So we're $300 short from the 2 best trains in the game. That's really what the exercise I'm doing. So maybe we can half cap at some point. Maybe we don't have to. But remember, we're going to sell this for 175 because the government's going to buy this from us. So if they buy this for 175, we're already getting some of that $300 short by that. And then I think in order to buy the 2 best trains in the game, we need to sell this train for 300. So we have enough money to buy 2 of the best trains in the game as long as other people buy trains from us. Now, when you only have 2 trains and you sell one, your next round, you're only going to be operating on 1 train. And that hurts you. If you're going to operate on 2 trains in a round, you're going to make way more money. So be careful with how often you're selling trains and buying trains. It can actually burn you to do that. It also burns you to half cap because half capping obviously hurts. We do have a 1+1. And so I was telling you I needed an 8+8 to go all the way around. I only need a 7+7 to go all the way around. So this is going to be very beneficial to us. And the fact that we get a 6+6 and a 4+4, it's actually going to be challenging to figure out your routes. But I think this will be real easy to do. This will be over in London, and then this one will be their Constantinople run. And we might have to get some smaller cities like Copenhagen, but we're going to get some excellent run with this. Okay, next up is MSP, and MSP is also a primary company. So let's go get that situation going. MSP has a 5+5 and a 4+4. His only job is to help the government. And to be quite honest, the government is doing fine. Doesn't really need track upgrades. And I think we're at a spot now where, for the sake of the video, I'm going to forego track upgrades and we're going to just give them bonus points. So at this point in time, MKB should be doing upgrades, 6 points worth. So if later on when it's a government turn and I realize, oh shoot, I needed to upgrade this and I don't have enough track points, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to use up those 6 track points from MKV. So I'm going to then do it, okay? So I'm going to wait until I actually need to upgrade track because it's actually going to help my trains. Then I'll upgrade the track. Remember, you should be upgrading track no matter what. But to speed up this game or this video, I'm going to stop just doing that. I'm only going to upgrade when I absolutely need to, and I'm just going to use my bonus points. Now, when somebody buys a gray train and the gray tracks are unlocked, those bonus points go to 0. Because as soon as somebody buys a gray train, everybody wants to spend their track points again, okay? So for now, with these maroons, I'm going to just let it go. And I know there's some problems with that, and I get it, but I am letting it go. We need to get this game moving. So one thing I did realize is that this government company, MKV, is losing a 2 train, and so is WW. They both lose 2 trains. Okay, so I'm going to put this down and go put those trains away. Okay, MKV is a 5+5 and a 4+4. MSP is in Norway, and that's it. So if you play against my buddy, his name's Mike, and you try to do something like this, Russia strategy. He likes the Russia strategy, by the way. He inspired this. I guarantee you he would eventually have put a token in London. Because he likes to do the same thing we're doing with DSJ, where you come up this way and then you just keep going. There's some holes that prevent us from being able to keep going, but that's the way he likes to play. One of the things that we're considering doing with MKB is Israel's available. And you can see, or I'm sorry, MSP, not MKB. MSP has a token there, so they could run to Israel if they're willing to pay that $60 price. And the answer is yes, they will. So we're going to pay $60. And this token is now removed from the game. It helped us. We didn't have to pay the $60. They did. But now that track is publicly available and anybody can go to Israel. So that is where we're going next. So in order to get a 5 and a 4 to operate, Israel, Constantinople, that's 2. And then just pick any of the Y cities for 3, Moscow for 4, and St. Petersburg for 5, okay? And then for the 4 train, we can do Archangelis to St. Petersburg for 2, and then Sweden here for 3, and we can pick this or Copenhagen for 4 and 5. So we could actually even go this way across and down and get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So we have lots of options. And in fact, we will do that. No, it doesn't matter. They're all the same. Sorry, I had a thought and realized it wasn't. Okay, so 80 for Levant, 140, Constantinople. Name your 60, and then 80 for Moscow, and then 80 for St. Petersburg, and then 40 for a whistle stop, and then 20 times 4 for the rest. Okay, then 60 for Archangelisk, 80 for St. Petersburg, 80 for Sweden, and then 60 for Copenhagen. And now I'm realizing where the track points are going to be spent. 2, 4, 6. So I believe there was a double whistle stop. So I'm doing some of this off camera just to speed it up. And then I'm looking for, the regular whistle stops are on the other end of the board. Okay. We upgraded this double whistle stop. We upgraded this, and we upgraded that. So I know I said we were pausing and all that other jazz, but that actually worked out really well. So bear with me. I have trays on one end of the table or the other. And then I noticed that I have mistakes over here. And these go here. So somehow or another I was throwing things in the wrong tray. Okay, coming back. We were getting ready to type in our whistle stops, and this was for a 1, 2, 3, 4 train. No, it's a 5 train. So 560 plus Archangelisk for 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got to add Finland to this because we have a 5 train. And then I did 5 whistle stops up here. Oh, never mind. Nope. So 20, 40, 60, 80. This should just be 80. Oh, what did I do? Oh, plus 0. Okay, something is very wrong. All right, 560 plus 60 for Archangelisk plus 80 plus 80 plus 60. That's our 4 train. And then 80 for the whistle stops. 920, there we go. Oh, and then Pullman, which is a $50 Pullman. 970. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 97 times 7. $679 for Tchaikovsky. That's not bad. So we're going to grab a 500 here. 600, 50, 75, 80. $1 back. And then the rest of MSP It's actually owned by Mr. Wellington. So he's very happy. It's $291. So we're going to give him $300. Take back $9. My chips are tricky. That's a 5, and it says a 10 on the other side. I got them for a lower price than normal, and I got the same level of quality. Okay, GWR is done. I'm sorry, MSP is done, and they cannot buy a train. See, they're at full limit on trains. And this is where I was worried about. Too many companies had gone to government, because you need somebody to buy a train, or otherwise the game doesn't end. And that's where the bank running out of money could factor in. There's some things like that that we can worry about. But I think at some point, a government just needs to go buy the 4 trains off of the other companies. So, and you may see us do that very soon here. Okay, so MSP is moving up. It did not buy a train. So now we go to MZA. That is a government. And unfortunately, it's better that your private companies like MSP and DSJ, it's nice to let them run first and make money, and then the government buys their train. MZA is the opposite. Mr. Medici is going to be running a government early, and he doesn't want to buy trains from, well, actually, MAV probably doesn't have anything to sell him. MAV, I bet, only has 1 train. Yes, so MAV's one of those companies that will buy a train. Anyways, let's get to MZA. And you can see here that he has a 3, 3, and a 2. So that's an 8. And I know it's an 8, and it's not changing. But right now, while I'm thinking about it, he's going to be taking one of these 3s. So we're going to be doing revenue for 8, but he will be taking a 3 at the end of the turn. So now we just need to make sure, do we have enough track in place so he can get 8 cities worth of revenue? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do. Now, we do need to spend track points to get to 9 or whatever, because he is going to be using 9. And we also need to understand that this red zone right here stinks. It's only worth $30 or $40, but that is just as good as these, so don't get too disappointed, I guess. We do want to get this double whistle stop in, and I don't think that there's a brown double whistle stop left. Oh, there is. So that's 1, and then a green would be 2, 3, and then this would be 4, 5. So, unfortunately, this one doesn't fit. So it's not going to work. That is very disappointing. We can look at the other double whistle stops and make sure nobody took one that they weren't supposed to. In fact, somebody did. Look right here. See, in France, this one could have been done with this one. So then we can take this one and put it over where Spain was. And that is how that rule works. And it's a good rule. Nobody should be able to just take track tiles. It's not even like thematic. Okay, so I think we said that was 5 upgrades, and then we're just going to upgrade like a regular city. It's like we can get this one here for 7. And that will help him to have 9 cities and 9 whistle stops. Yeah, he should be in great shape. So, looking at this, remember, he only has 8, not 9. Got Madrid for 80. We got North Africa for 80. Casablanca for 60. The Chin port and the MZA port, so that's 1, 2, 3, that's 5. And Portugal for 6. So now we're gonna grab the red zone for 40, 7, and then just one more of the 40 cities for 8. Okay, so that's 480. And then we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, there's exactly 9 whistle stops. But we only need 8 of them. So that's 640. And then his best train was a 3. So he gets 30 for the Pullman. 67 a share for MZA. 67 times 6 is 402. So Mr. Medici gets 402, and I got a little stack of money sitting here on the board for him. And then we actually have 3 shares, so 67 times 3 is 201 for us. So we're playing the same game he plays on us. And yes, MZA goes up in value. Next up is MKV, which is a Russian government, and I think we're in great shape there. It is a 369. So let's go look at Russia here. It'd be nice if I could keep this held up like this. You could actually see Russia really well. Then the tripod, that's not too bad. Okay, so I'm not gonna upgrade any track because I don't think I need to. And just remember, if I have to, I'm just stocking up points. But it's a 9 plus 9. And we know there's a $40 whistle stop, and we know, I'm gonna just look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I see 9 upgraded whistle stops. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 9 upgraded whistle stop on top of the 40. So the 40 is actually a 10th whistle stop. So 40 plus 20 times 8. So we have $200 just in whistle stops. And then we're gonna just do the red zones here. So I'm gonna start with Sevastopol for 60, then Kharkov for 60, and Moscow for 80, and then Archangelis for 60. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Finland for 60 is 5. And then Petersburg for 80 is 6. Then the MKV is 60 for 7. And then Warsaw is 60 for 8. And then we're just gonna have to add a $40 city for 9. Okay, and then I'm adding $30 for Pullman. So I have 790, 79 a share. And he has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shares, so 79 times 6. He's getting 474 bucks. So I'm grabbing 475. And I'm gonna turn, so I just given him 475, taking $1 back. Okay, so MKV is done. MKV does have the option to buy a train. And he's gonna buy that 4 train from MSP, because MSP already went. So, so let's take care of that. He's doing such a good job of not having to get up. All right, so he's gonna buy this 4 train, because we wanna, if we don't start doing this, the game's not gonna move. And so we're gonna buy the 4 train, and $175 goes to MSP, which he can then use to buy an even better train. So there's no real complaints there from MSP. That's not bad. And this is going back into the pool. So that 4+4 is available, but you have to pay full market price. And I'm not sure, like no government train's gonna buy that. So I don't even think that's allowed in the rules, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, KBS is up. That's our company. And we have a 5+5 and a 4+4. So we're sitting in good shape there. We are in Berlin, which means we have a great run. We have a token in Hamburg. It's the Star Harbor that lets us actually skip Hamburg and go right into London. And we also have the North Seas token. So even though we don't have a token in London, we don't need it. We can just use the Hamburg one to go into London, and that spends 1 point of our Star Harbor to do that. Yeah, that's an excellent run. But we can only go to Birmingham and maybe even up to Scotland, but that's all the further we can go. Okay, so 6 track points, and what we're going to do is we're going to help our government upgrade Austria here. So just looking over the terrain, I see another, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 whistle stops upgraded. So let's keep doing that. So we're going to upgrade this for 2 track points. And then there's this one would be 2 to green and then 2 to brown. So that's going to be 4 track points just to do that. And why not? That is going to benefit everybody. Oh, I see. Yeah, so remember my friend was saying that this is on this side, and that if this is on this side, that counts towards this government. This government gets to count that. So if that was a city, it would be a city that counts towards this government, but not that one, even though, so you can lay track on both. I remember now why he explained that rule to me. That was quite a few videos ago if you heard me question that and actually remember. Okay, so I know that's not as good as upgrading cities, but the whistle stops do help as well. And I'm thinking maybe I should have probably done this one, this city over here instead, but that's okay. All right, we have a 5+5 and a 4+4, and we can go to Levant. So we are going to do Levant for 80, Constantinople for 140, so that's 2. We're going to come up through the mountains here and hit Vienna for 80, that's 3. And then obviously we're going to hit Berlin for 4. So we have a 4+4 and a 5+5. So we can add a 5th city and just say we're going to hit that MAV city for 60 to get the 5+5. And we have plenty of $20 whistle stops for another 100 to get us to 550. Okay, then for the 4+4, we're for sure going to do Berlin for 1, and then London for 2, and then Birmingham for 3. And we don't have to count Hamburg, but at this point we will. So we're going to count Hamburg for the 4th one, and that's $60. And there's plenty of whistle stops for 80 more. And we have a Pullman for 50 more. And you're going to really like this number. We hit 1,000 even. So at $100 a share for KBS, KBS still has 3 shares. So the company itself is going to get $300, which it very much needs to buy more trains. And we are going to get $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, $700. That's a very impressive number. So I'm grabbing another 1,000 and putting 300 back. We are doing very well, folks. And I have a correction. See this company under here? That's the B company. All track upgrades that are not cities cost 1 point. So we spent 4 points to do this, and that really only cost 2 points. So we have 2 points left over. So guess what we're gonna do? Don't forget your companies and what they do for you. So that's going to help our government quite a bit, actually, to get that to a brown. Okay, so we move up. We're at 46 minutes already. Chin is up next, and Chin is a government. Yes, it is a government, and it has a 4, 3, and 3, and then of course a Pullman. And its shares, along with Plum shares, are all in the market now. So let's move all those here. And you can start filling up over here because you're not using that part of the board anymore. So Spain is wide open, and I'm going to just bank points. I don't think I need it. I am at 4, 7, 10, so I do need 10. So that means I'll just upgrade one more of these and get that to 10. Like so. And oh, well, this one for sure is used in runs. So we'll get that one up. That's used by many companies during their runs. Okay. And we can even, upgrade this. There's a lot of options. So we're just going to speed up the game here. And it's a 10 plus 10. That's actually a really impressive not quite. Not quite. I'm realizing that banking points might not pay off here. Okay. So it's 2, 4, 6, and 8. We're just going to do it. Sorry. Okay. I know for sure there's 10 whistle stops. So 10 times 20 is we're at 200 for that. So then we guys just got to do 10 cities. So we're going to do Madrid for 1, the 2 Y cities for 2 and 3, then Melilla for 4, then Casablanca for 5, and North Africa for 6, and then Portugal for 7, and then 3 times 40 for 8, 9, and 10. So another 120, and then we're going to add 40 for the Pullman. So that's $80 a share. So Chin is already doing better for De Gaulle than he did when he was a private. So at $80 a share, he has 6 shares. So it should be 480. Yep, 480. So I'm going to grab De Gaulle gets his first 500. And put 20 bucks in the bank. Okay, so that was a good run for Chin. And then right immediately after that is Plum, who's also a government. And Plum only has 2 trains. a 4 and a 3. And unfortunately, he definitely needs to spend his track points. So putting this down. He has a 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. His 7's going to be fine. We'll do this for 2. And then this for 4. And then this for 6 and 8. And he has one more track point. So nine. Okay, so he only has 7. We do have a red zone off the board called Tunis. Oh no, that's Italy's. Algiers, and that's a $60 spot. So the red zone is 60, and then we have 2 Y zones for 120, that's 3. Then 80 for Paris is 4, and then 40 for the other Y zone, Lille, 5, and then 6 and 7. He has a Pullman for 40, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, he only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He only has 6 whistle stops. And then it looks like his 7th one's gonna have to be a 10. So yes, we need to get a lot of upgrades in France. So 55 a share for Plum, not quite as good. He only had 2 trains though. And that's 6 shares, 330. All right, so Mr. DeGaulle is finally getting some decent cash. And Plum is going to take a 3 train from the rusted stack. So he's at least up to 10 now, but 10 plus 10. Okay, so Plum moves up, and now we have SFR. So it's the Italian government. So we're just like barreling through one government after the next after the next. Italian governments are a similar situation. They need to do a lot of upgrades. So 2. And then 3 more points are going to be spent to lay a green down here in Palermo. So way down here was a city. So he needed to get that covered, so that he spent 1 for the yellow and 2 for the green. So that's 3 for 5. And then we do have 2 cities there I'd like to upgrade. And we also have whistle stops we'd like to upgrade. There's just so much to do. So we're going to do 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's get all the cities in first. We do have some $20 whistle stops. Not that many, but some. 6, 7, 8, 9. It doesn't matter if they connect or not. Okay, so let's go see what kind of train he has. I think we might be in a situation where he only has 1 or 2, and it's also the order matters. SFR is first, and then SFAI. So SFR has, oh my gosh, they have an 8 plus 8. Yeah, so that's really good. So let's put this down here and see if you can get a nice angle. Okay, that's a glaring angle. I just bumped a bunch of track. Bear with me. Just destroyed a bunch of track. Okay. And you don't even have a good view. So let's try that. All right, we have an 8+8. Tunis is a red zone. It's underneath this tray here. You can see it way back there. It is a $50 red zone, so not super hot. Okay, then Naples is 80 for 2. And then you see there's 1, 2, 3 Y cities for 180. So that's 3, 4, 5. And then I have 6, 7, 8 for 3. So I have 120 more for the town. So that's an 8+8. And just to show you, there's 2 towns here and 1, 2, 3 Y cities, and then there's a town over there. So we're counting all those, okay? Now from a whistle stop perspective, we get to count this one down here on that island, but that's France. And then we only have 2 upgraded whistle stops. So I'm gonna add $40 for those, and that counts as 2 of them. And we need to get 5 more, and I am counting 1, 2, 3. We easily have 5 more on the board, so that part's not an issue. So I'm at 520. And then we add 50 for a Pullman, 57 a share. And he has 7 shares of this stock, so he's getting $399. So I'm gonna just give him a 500 here. Take 101 back. And I'm just destroying track everywhere. Okay, SFR is done. Now we're gonna come back over here because SFAI has a 9+9. We just did an 8+8. And remember, we just hit 8 cities. The 9th city is gonna be that one down there, that green one. And see over here, there's another city. So we have a lot of work to do, Scooby-Doo. And I'm gonna grab the train upgrades. Both of these are gonna go up, by the way. And they're both gonna get 1 train each. Obviously, the 9, it's not a 12 yet, but these guys are gonna have some really nice upgrades. And just to confirm, you can see it's just 10 cities. So we're gonna hit 9 with this one, and then there's that 10th one I was showing you. And next turn, they're already up to 12. So Italy's gonna make some good money. And you're gonna see that they're gonna get upgraded pretty fast. I mean, their whistle stops are lagging behind, but they'll get that caught up too. So he has 9 track points. So let's come back around, situate this. And first thing I want to do is get this city right here for 2. And we can upgrade it like that. And I want to get this, but I can wait until next turn to do this one. So let's get him caught up on the whistle stops. So it was 2, and then we're gonna go 4, 6, 8. And then I have 1 extra track point, so it makes sense to make that 9. So we at least get 1 point of it down. And this is a weird one because it actually, sometimes it's nice to go around and actually do a OE run that way, but these are government companies. We don't have to worry about that. So 2, 4, and I've been spending a lot of these kind of tracks with impunity, even when I could have used something else. So there you go. He's done. And we said it was a 9+9. So we have 50 for the red zone, 80 for Naples, and then we have 3 Y zones for 180. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 160 more for 470. He does have a 5 train, so it's a $50 Pullman. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upgraded whistle stops, so 100 for that. And then we need 4 more for 40. 1, 2, 3. We don't have the 4th one. Gosh darn it. Yeah, there's a double whistle stop right here. I didn't even notice that. So we're gonna wanna get connected to that. I couldn't have done it this turn anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna have to take $10 off whatever this is. So 65 a share. And he has 6 shares. So 390. It's funny, he has this stack of money sitting on the board waiting for him. So I'm actually able to give that stack $400 and take change away from it. So that's what I'm doing right now. And so lawnmower is next. So lawnmower, of course, is Britain and Mr. Wellington. And we wanted to get some nice trains. These governments that are run by Medici are not, they took trains from the market. They can't take a train from MAV because MAV only has one and they don't want to make them trainless. And then this is all the money Medici made while I was sitting on the other side of the table and just too lazy to walk around. So Medici's doing fine for himself. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 1,000. 3, 4, 5. There you go. And that doesn't look like even stacks, but I don't want to cover up his shares. Okay, anyways, don't need to worry about that. Let's go over here. Lawnmower has a 5 + 5, a 4 + 4, and a 2 + 2. And that's actually going to be difficult because of the Lily thing. The Lily thing is hurting him. He actually wishes France would have upgraded Lily because then he could just barrel through London and do some cool stuff. So the route from New York is going to come into London, 5 + 5. Okay, so this, right now, he's going to spend those track points. Remember we spent these track points to go around Berlin, and I said I'm not going to undo that? He is now officially spending the track points, so those tracks are going to officially count. Okay, so 5 + 5. New York is $100. 90 for Britain. I don't know if you can see this very easily. So I'm just going to read it then. 90 for Britain, then 80 for Birmingham. So that's 3. And then we're going to hit Scotland here for 4. And then we're going to hit the Norwegian coast, Narvik, for 80, and that's 5. And then we're going to hit 1, 2, 3, 4. Whistle stops. And then his 5th whistle stop is going to have to be $10, unfortunately. Yeah, that was unfortunate. And so $500 for his 5 + 5. So then he can do London for 90 and come into Amsterdam for 2. And actually, Britain is open, or I'm sorry, Berlin is open. So then he can do Hamburg for 3 and Berlin for 4. Oh, he can do an OE run. He can do an OE run. So we're going to get rid of, so he's going to do London, Amsterdam. And see there, he has to hit Hamburg. But then he can go into Berlin for 4. And from Berlin, he can go all the way to Constantinople for 5. So we're going to take back the 5 plus 5. Yeah, we're just going to clear everything, starting over. Sorry about that, but so one of the things he can do is he can put a token in Berlin, and then that keeps him from being, yeah, actually he is going to do that. So he has to pay $40 extra to go over a C-zone. Nope, he's going over a ferry, so he's going to pay $20 extra. And he has way more than 2 tokens missing. So where's the rest of his tokens? Oh, he has 1 in Spain. He has 1 in Spain, and he should have 1 somewhere else. So I see, oh, yeah. On his starting zone. Okay. So his next token is going to cost him $60. He has it. And then I think I just said he needed to pay $20 more because he's going over a ferry. And that's true. And so he gets $5 back. Oh, he has an H company, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, so he's gonna do, oh, I forgot to grab the token. He's putting a token in Berlin, so we don't have to worry about going to London. He can do Berlin to Constantinople with a 2 train. And in fact, he will. He has a 2 plus 2. So that's what he's going to do. And so we're going to go back to the New York 100 plus 90 plus 80 plus 60 plus 80. And then we're going to add 80 more in whistle stops plus 10 for 500. That's his 5 plus 5. And then his 4 plus 4 can be London for 90. Amsterdam for 60. Hamburg for 60. And then Berlin for 90. And he gets to add 1, 2, 3, 4. So $40 there for 840. Then Berlin is 90 plus 40 for whistle stops plus 140 for Constantinople. Whew. And then he has a Pullman on top of it. So he gets to add 50 more. $116 a share. And that is a Mr. Wellington run. That's Mr. Wellington approved there. So at $116 a share, times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shares, that's 812. And then we have 1. And Mr. Medici has 2. So paying Medici is $232. So that's done. So Mr. Wellington gets 812. So he's finally getting on the board. In fact, he's very on the board right now. So Lawnmower just saved his bacon. And then we actually get 116. So just like we did with Medici, we're gonna just put money on the other side of the board and we'll grab it later. Okay, we cannot buy a train. He is at his train cap of 2. And but he did do an OE run, which he finally gets to go up 3 on the board. And this turn order change is going to be good for him. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's now up in the big leagues with us. And that just bypassed a whole bunch of people. And it's funny because BHB is for sure not there. They went backwards because they had no train. So I don't know what happened there. All right, next up is Lizard at 180. And that is it's not a government. So let's go look at Lizard. So we're getting to a point where like we need like a 10 plus 10, stuff like that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and upgrade this and even this. Let's see what we can take it to. And we have that there. As far as double whistle stops go, there's plenty of green ones, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Oh, come on. Okay, enough of that. Let's go run the train. Okay, Lizard has a 5 plus 5 and a 4 plus 4. I'm at a spot where I actually think we need to place a token. But actually, I think I'm okay. So we're going to do 140 for Constantinople plus pick your 80, I'm sorry, pick your 60. Any of the Y cities for 2. Moscow for 3. St. Petersburg for 4. And then Finland for 5. Yeah. And then a $40 whistle stop and 3 times 20. It's 540. So then we're going to add to that Copenhagen plus North Sweden plus St. Petersburg plus Arkhangelsk, and then 1, 2, yeah, and then $80 in whistle stops, and then $50 for the Pullman. And look at that, folks, 95 a share. That's good money. That's Russia money there. So 95 times 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. That's $665. So Tchaikovsky might have more money than we do. So do not count him out. He is doing quite well. All right. So Blizzard moves up. Okay, so I want to show you something. Blizzard is moving up. And I already moved it, and it's sitting here at $200. So guess what we're going to do? We're selling some shares. So he's train tight. He has all of his trains. Can't buy any more trains, but we do have 3 shares. So Blizzard's going to sell those to the market, and he's going to get $600 for it. So even if nobody buys his shares, he's getting some serious bling. So he's ready to buy a really nice train. And when WW goes, you're going to see WW buy that 4+4 from him. Okay, next up is MAV. Now MAV is one of those weird companies that's in Italy, and I keep forgetting about that. So let's not forget about that. And MAV only has a 5+5. He's already done an OE run, and MAV is in Berlin as well. So he can do like a weird Constantinople to Berlin and then all the way back down to Constantinople again, like through Vienna. That's very doable. With a 5+5, you can go from Paris all the way down into Italy. Also doable, but it's been my opinion that Constantinople is the best. So, what's he going to do with his track points? He's going to help Italy. Because you always help your government if you have extra track points and don't know what to do with it. So remember, Italy has to get that double whistle stop upgraded. It's a $60 mountain, so he can't help there. But what he can do is he can help with everywhere else. So we're actually going to have to swing around to help him. But like right here, this is 4 track points. So he's going to spend 4 track points and put that like so. And then he has 2 more track points, and we're just going to upgrade a city. Okay, now as far as his run goes, I'm just going to take my money, add it to my stash. I'm starting to think Mr. Tchaikovsky has more money than me, but let's not worry about that right now. I think we have a lead on Tchaikovsky, but well, let's just worry about that later. So MAV has just a 5+5, so we're going to do 140. Is it 140? It's 80 plus 60. Yes, 140 for Constantinople, then 90 for Berlin, and then 80 for a MAV city, and then 80 for Vienna, 60 for the MAV city. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just add another $60, either Warsaw or another MAV city. And then we know we got $100 in whistle stops. There's plenty of upgraded brown whistle stops to go and choose from. So $53 a share. I'll check to see if he has a Pullman. I think he does. So let's just add $58 a share. And for having only 1 train, that's pretty decent. So 58 times, here's what's crazy, he only has 4 shares, so Medici gets 232. So we're going to swing back around. $232. And yes, Mav did have a Pullman, and Mav actually has 2 shares of his own stock. So he's getting $116. I need to grab a 5. So $116 for him, and Mav's done. He does get to buy a train, and he will do that. Right now, he doesn't have a lot of money, but he only needs to buy 1 more train, and he'll have 2 permanent trains, meaning that nothing can melt. Now, if a bank wants to buy from a market, or if a government wants to buy from him, that's great, but you just bear in mind, he doesn't have a lot of money. So he does still have 2 shares to sell, so that's one thing. And the great news is he can buy a train. So he's not like, there's many times you're going to play this game and be at this stage of the game and not even be able to afford a train. So that is $180. He could sell his shares. He's not going to. And he now has a 6 + 6 and a 5 + 5, and he can make some good money. He's over in Italy, and he's over in Berlin, so he has plenty of room to run 2 big trains like that. My battery's low. I'm trying to hurry up, but it's now to SB, which is our government company. And let's see if we made the right choice. In some respects, I'm not sure we did. I think SB was making decent money as a private, but I also think we're going to be fine. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 track points. We absolutely have to spend because we're going to be running for a 10 + 7. And that 10, there's only 9 total cities. And I know I explained this before, but there's 9 total cities, and I only get to count that 10th city if I have upgrades. So and remember, we get to treat it as if we have a token in every city, so we can just go anywhere we want and just lay track like that. So we now placed everywhere there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 upgraded whistle stops. We only need 7 this turn. So there's no need to upgrade any more whistle stops at this time. There will be later. So we spent 5. We still have 4 more to go. So I am going to just upgrade one of these twice. So this $20 one is just going to get upgraded to a $40 one. And there we go. So now I'm trying to figure out what I did with my calculator, and it's on the other side of the table. So we're at a 10 + 7. There's no red zones. So first thing we're going to do is $80 for a capital city. And then I see there that there's 2 Y cities, so that's going to be 60 + 60. It's 120 more for 3. All right, and then this one's going to be 4, and that one's going to be 5. There's a $40 over there for 5. So that's 80 more for 5. And then I see 6, 7, 8, 9, all at $20 each. So that's $80. And then I have a 10th one. So there's no more cities left on the board. And so for the 10th one, I just get to count it. I want to say I counted as a $40 stop, but I'm thinking it might be, no, it's a $40 stop. So I just get to count it as a $40 stop. So I'm at $400. Okay, and then I only have 7 whistle stops because one of my trains does not include whistle stops. So then I add 7 times 20 for 540, and then we have a Pullman for another 40. So $58 a share, that's not bad. It's the same thing that Mav got with one train, I guess. But so 58. I think the OE run is what makes the other companies do better. But anyways, 58 times 6, we get 348 bucks. I am not going to complain about 348 bucks. All right, so SB is done, and it does move up on the stock board. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this 3 train, both of the 3 trains. Let's zoom back. I'm getting rid of both of these 3 trains, and I'm buying the 4 train from both of my companies. Now the Fords don't melt until the 8's purchased, okay? So bear that in mind. I could have held on to it for quite a bit longer because we still have to go into the 7 trains before we get to the 8 trains. But even though you see a giant stack of 7s over there, don't panic. 4 trains deep is a little token that says you can now buy 8 trains. So then the 7 trains are basically unlimited. And after the 4th 7 train is bought, we can immediately buy an 8 train if you can afford it. So these are, I'm sorry, for $350, so it's $175 for each company. So there's $100 for each company. There's $50 for each. And here is $75. Okay, so it might have been a little premature because I don't want to buy another 6 train for these companies, but I don't mind buying a 7 train. A 4D is not as good as a 5D, but a 4D you can run for more rounds than a 5D. So in a long run, it might actually still be a better train if you can get one right away. With that said, I am causing my next round to be less money, right? Because I'm only going to be running 1 train for each of my companies, but they both have enough money to buy another train. So you sort of want to do that because those gray trains are worth it. It's painful to switch to a gray train, but they are worth it. Okay, so now we get to RCP and WW and then Bell. WW is the only government company of the 3. RCP and Bell both have room to buy a train, and they probably will. I am very low in battery, and so I think I have to stop here. But that's where we are. We are at this stack right there. RCP, WW, and Bell. And then BHB tailing up the back here. 3 of these 4 companies have room to buy a train. So we could theoretically get to the gray rounds. Yeah, I need to quit. I really did want to finish, but sorry about that. I will just have to pick it up tomorrow. And anyways, thank you for watching. For those of you who are brave or foolish, I don't know what the right word, to get this many hours into this game. But this is a mega, mega game. And I hope you're enjoying it. I apologize. I wish I didn't have to always put the camera down and work off camera to grab money and stuff. This isn't the best game to do a playthrough, I guess, in that regard. But I just find this game fascinating. I find the decision making to be agonizing and fascinating. And I'm hoping that the AI is helping you to at least enjoy seeing who might actually be winning. And of course, I'm trying different strategies with every one. I'm trying to demonstrate to you the different kind of strategies you will see in a multiplayer game. And once again, I think in a multiplayer game, you're going to see more blocking. And then you would also see more of this, of somebody owning other people's shares. I sort of minimize that in this game because then I'm constantly exchanging money between players, and that slows it down even more. I hope that you saw that once they had a chance to buy someone else's share, they did it, and they did it smartly, like Medici over there. But, you know, most people will invest in their own companies first, and in this game, that is the right strategy. Anyways, I'm done. It's going to die at any second. So thank you very much. Thanks for watching.